What's up, everybody? This is your Friday night Smackdown recap show. I am the OG Fit Kid, Thomas Montalto. Joining
And
me
it is
today,
now time to turn your attention to Anthony of the Titantron Podcast at your service.
how's it going, Anthony? We got another Smackdown in the books.
It's going good. The show was pretty decent, outside of one chunk, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, can't complain too much, and I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, solid show. We start off again with it felt like deja vu with Cena coming out there, but it seemed like a much louder pop tonight than on Monday. Did you get that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just, everyone was expecting it to happen. So, just for it to be that first thing, now that we're going to start seeing Cena more often, it's like, everyone's going to those shows just to see, not just to see, but like their main thing is like, we're going to see Cena. So once you hear that music and that first note of the song, it's like, the roof explodes off the place. So yeah, I did get that. And the more he comes out, the more that pop is just going to explode even more. And I love it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, the promo was very similar to Monday, not much different, but that's they changed last week. They started with the match. This week they went back to the promo, which is okay because it was Cena. I don't totally hate that, but it was a good promo. It was very much the same as Monday.
Mhm.
So now hopefully we can start seeing this evolve. What do you think of the promo?
Your typical Cena promo. He got his lines in. He's been ever since he's started talk. Well, Monday now. It's just prime example of how good he is on the mic. Like he has the arena in the palm of his hand every time he talks, and it's just a testament to how great he is. So I'm glad that we get a full few weeks of Cena talking. I'm hoping that we kind of, evolve, like you said, evolve from this and get him in the ring. I don't really want SummerSlam to be that first match for Cena. It's going to be a great match regardless, but I kind of want to see, they're calling it the Summer of Cena now. I don't know if you saw, but they trademarked it. So I guess they're going to start, promoting their shows as that. But, I kind of want to see him in the ring, get him against some guys that we haven't seen before. They put a list of like John Cena dream matches on the WWE on Fox Twitter, and like all of them are really, really interesting matches. So I mean, they could really put him up against anyone on that roster, and I would be interested.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do. Okay, we got Mythical Sal joining in, saying SmackDown was good. How you doing, Mythical Sal?
Mythical.
Welcome to the show. Welcome. Yeah, like I said, he's going to be wrestling all summer. He's not just around for these couple of appearances. He's doing house shows and everything. So good for
Mm-hmm.
him. He's coming back, and he's not just one of those part timers. He still loves it that much, which is really really awesome.
Definitely.
Okay, so okay. Oh, okay. So next up we got Finn Balor against Sami Zayn, and we'll start with this because this is a Finn Balor we haven't seen on SmackDown or Raw or on the main roster before. This guy's is firing on all cylinders right now. Like he is coming out there, he's bringing the heat, and you can see the difference from the last time he was on a main roster to now. He's very much carried over what he's done in NXT and that fire that I think that was reignited when he was down there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's just like the typical formula of, when a babyface isn't doing that well on the roster, turn him heel, let the fans realize, that he is good after all. And then naturally the fans will turn back to him. And that's, the prime example of what happened with Finn Balor. I was glad that they didn't bring him back onto the SmackDown roster as a heel. I know for towards the tail end of his NXT run, he was more of a face. But this is a new kind of character, not really character, but a new edge to Balor, and I think that makes him really interesting. And it just adds to the SmackDown roster. What did you think of the match with Zayn tonight?
I loved it. They both put them two in a ring together. They're going to have a great match every time. That doesn't mean I want to see a rematch next week already.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I thought they had a good match. I enjoyed the match. I enjoy them two working together. And like I said, I'm glad that Balor brought the same fire he had in NXT, which he pretty much had from when he went down there. So it's good to see that back. From there, we go on to another one of these Baron Corbin promos. You know, I guess let's just talk about it now. I guess we see that leads to another promo later where Kevin Owens is given the money, and it ends up with him getting hit in the pecker from the tank, falling over, and like Ziggler and Rude come out and take the money. Kevin Owens is befriending him. Like, did we see this? Like, did he really get hit in the pecker and they come and take? Like, what is this?
I mean, they're really just doing everything with this whole Corbin gimmick, and props to them, I guess, if they have material for Corbin, be it's pretty bad, but like if they have something for him, you might as well just get him on TV. But I really just don't get what's going on, and also I do not want to see Owens and Corbin teaming up, and I feel like that's what's going. I can already see the vignettes in the future, like, Owens takes, Corbin to, get like a new suit or whatever, try to get him back up on his feet. Like, I could just see it already, and I already hate it. I really hope this is not the direction they're going with. But then again, they need tag teams. So a face, Corbin and Owens, although it's not the tag team that I want to see, it's a tag team nonetheless. Going up against the Usos is also something I do not want to see. But I mean, they've been booking Owens and Corbin as if, backstage obviously likes them. So I guess they're just putting them together and hoping it connects. But I just don't see where we're going with this, nor do I really care, to be honest.
I'm kind of hoping it's more of a Owens gives him the rub to turn him face. They better not just throw them two together, because no, just don't do that.
It's lazy. It's lazy booking. Yeah, they do this all the time.
Yeah. So after that Corbin promo, we have the whole Big E come out, and then Apollo Crews come out, and Ziggler, Rude, Nakamura, and Boogs. I mean, I don't know why any two of them couldn't have had a match.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay, but it just was kind of senseless, I felt.
Right. I will say that I'm happy that it didn't turn into a 6-man tag, because like they always do that cut where it's like, the heels come in, then the faces knock them out, then they cut to commercial, then we come back. Oh, they made a 6-man tag during the commercial break. So I'm happy that didn't happen this week. It's probably going to happen next week, but
I mean, I'm happy it didn't either. I don't know if they're working up to like a fatal 4-way for the intercontinental title. I don't know where that's going, but
I mean, I wouldn't be really opposed to it. I guess it's just something because you figure it's probably going to be Apollo, Dolph, Nakamura, and Cesaro.
Maybe they're going to give Cesaro the Intercontinental title. I hope so, because I can't stand this version of Apollo Crews.
I liked it at first. I just like Apollo. So when they gave him a gimmick, I was like, all right, I'm kind of digging this. And then he just got put on the back burner so fast. He wasn't even on SmackDown last week, the first SmackDown with fans. You would think that all your champions would be on there. And now all of a sudden he's just an afterthought.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, maybe they realize it's not working. It's not connected. I don't think it's smart to have a guy who had no accent, all of a sudden you make him Nigerian or anything. It didn't make any sense. He was better the way he was.
Absolutely.
Beforehand. So this, I hope that's coming to an end kind of soon, because it's done. It hasn't helped Apollo Crews at all. He could have become a heel. He would have been better off in a Hurt business.
Yeah, that would have been great.
A monster. So, all right. So let's see. Oh, so now we're talking about the part of the show that was really, I mean, the matches weren't terrible. It just was weird to cut to the other arena, to the other place.
Yeah.
You had Wally, and I thought he was in Toy Story or something like that, or whatever the movie was. Sorry.
Wale, OG. Wale.
Wale, whatever.
You're lucky you got a young kid to help you out here. I'm
Ain't
hip
that
with
the
the
truth?
music.
We were talking, me and Chad today. He's like, he loves the chemistry me and you have, because you're the young guy. I guess he's calling me old, that little bastard.
Oh.
But just like you seeing it from your eyes, and me who grew up through the 80s and seeing the Attitude Era. It's
yeah,
neat to get the two different perspectives. I could like teach you the way. I'm just So we had Gable versus Dawkins. Did you actually watch the match?
I watched it, but I was more focused on just the no reaction in the crowd. It was almost like, you had to watch the crowd just do absolutely
Yeah.
nothing, because you have to figure like there's over 100,000 people watching that match. Like it looked
Yeah.
like there were thousands upon
Yeah.
thousands.
But that many people there to not watch watching wrestling.
Yeah, the matches were fine, like that and the women's championship match. They were fine, but if they happened in the where were they tonight? Chicago? That was their
Cleveland.
Cleveland. There you go. Yeah, I mean, Chicago would have been much louder. What am I talking about? Cleveland, yes.
Yeah.
Those matches would have been okay if they were in Cleveland.
Yeah,
But
I thought the matches were fine. Again, like we got another rematch with Carmella and Bianca for no reason. Like she lost
right.
last week, but let's give her a rematch. The WWE has got to stop that. I mean, I know I've talked about this a bunch, but AEW doesn't do rematches like this. WWE should see how that works.
Or if they do rematches, then they make them interesting and they don't just do the same match over and over. Maybe they'll add a guy, they'll do a tag team. Yeah, exactly. My whole thing with this whole Rolling Loud is that, I look at it like this is the biggest music festival at least for hip hop, rap, whatever, of the year. There's no way, most of the people in there, from the reaction you got, are casual fans. No one came to Rolling Loud to see Chad Gable and Carmella. Like it just didn't happen. So
I had no idea who they were. Probably
that's my whole point, is that you needed to bring someone who the fans knew. You needed to bring Cena. He could have done that promo and maybe did an attitude adjustment to someone at Rolling Loud, and it would have done the exact same thing. Could you imagine starting off SmackDown and having, that sea of thousands of fans and just having John Cena come out? They just didn't pull off this. It was a great idea, like to do this cross promotion stuff. It was a really great idea, and I hope they do more of this. But I hope that they take this as kind of a lesson of like how to do it properly, because from my perspective, you needed to have either Cena or Mysterio or Hardy, someone that the casual fans would know. You need to have one of those. You needed to incorporate the music more into the wrestling. You had Wale there. Why don't you have Wale rap to the Street Profits coming out so that it gets the arena hyped, and not just when I say we want the smoke, you say we want the smoke. Like that just doesn't, that doesn't get the crowd hyped. You need to get them hyped up, and they just did not do it. So I hope that they continue to do this type of stuff, because it's interesting. And I actually liked, I don't know if you picked up like how it was filmed, because there wasn't like really like a hard camera. If anything, it was focused on the crowd. I loved it. It looked great.
And the camera work was much better than what we usually see on WWE TV.
Yeah, probably
because all over the place.
I don't know if Kevin Dunn had the button working for Rolling Loud, but I mean, I hope.
Stand is when somebody's punching and they zoom in and out with each punch.
Oh, it's awful.
It's nauseating. I don't know why they think that's good. It's you're gonna give somebody a seizure or something.
It's like the chair shots with Drew McIntyre on Raw. He did like 20 of them, and they went back and forth. It was awful. But that's besides the point. Final thoughts on this were just that they need to learn from it, but they need to do more of it.
Yeah, they can learn from it. Like you said, how awesome would it have been if the Doctor of Thugonomics came out there?
Oh, that would have been so great.
So he came out rapping. People
Absolutely.
might have connected with that. All right, so the next thing we get is the Edge promo with Seth. Man, this feud is going to be awesome. They're both bringing it. Edge is just, when you see Edge, I get this feeling of like when WWE was really good. He has something that most people don't have in WWE today. And I mean, how do you feel about Edge?
Oh my God, I love Edge. Like, I just feel like SmackDown tonight was elevated from guys like Edge and Cena. And that's it just shows that these guys are absolute legends in not only just WWE, but like in wrestling in general. And it just shows how great they are, because Edge tonight, his promo was he just connected with the audience so well. And he even made Seth look even better than he has been looking these last few weeks. And he's been looking pretty damn good. Like we were talking about it, like this is probably one of the best of Seth Rollins' characters or whatever, his character work that we've seen in a long time. So for Edge to even elevate that more, it's like that just shows you how great he is. So
I loved when he told him to shut up.
Oh, that you see, it's like little things like that he does like so well.
Yeah.
But I mean, oh man, I'm looking forward to even just like the little nods. Like I was in the Brood, I was in the Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I love that.
And I wonder how much of this is actually scripted and how much they're letting them do their own thing, if at
Mm.
all. Like, I'm so curious about that because it seems better than most of the other stuff in all of WWE right now.
Yeah, they must have
So,
faith in some guy. You know, obviously you're gonna let Cena, Edge, Roman. You know, you're gonna let those guys kind of go off and say what they want to say within like your bullet points. But like someone else who doesn't have like that great of talking skills or connection to the audience, then you're gonna script them a little more.
okay, we're gonna pause for a second. We're not customer service. How do I know how long it's gonna? You probably have it within a week. I'm just kidding.
Please hold while we transmit you to another another operator.
So we get to see Toni Storm's debut, and she's taking on the returning Zelina Vega. And how much is Zelina
Tony
Vega?
time.
Is Zelina regretting that she re-signed here right now? I love Zelina Vega. I think she's great in the ring. I love Toni Storm. I hope she gets a monster push, but man, Zelina must be going nuts.
It's awful.
She must be going nuts. Like, she resigns and her husband gets fired, and now she's stuck behind to deal with that. And I mean, wow, what was that? I have it written down here. Storm 1. That was pretty friggin' awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's great in the ring. I'm really glad that they brought her up. Even just like her I don't know, did she have new music? I feel like I haven't heard that song before. Or maybe I just haven't been watching much of Toni Storm lately, but I feel like that was new music and I couldn't really tell. But
could be, but I would have to be watching Smackdown. I mean NXT to have told you that.
Oh, true. But I mean, yeah, she has. I was saying it on one of the other episodes I was doing of my podcast that she just has like the look, the in-ring ability, just everything, the full package that Vince is going to see that and really want to push her to. Honestly, she could be a threat to Bianca. I know that they're both faces and it couldn't really work, but I would love to see a match between them. I'm also glad that they brought her up as a face. Just because she was healed down in NXT and she just was not connecting well. So to be able to bring her up as a face, you see all these cool moves that she does. It's just great. And to the whole Zelina Vega point, it's getting bad. I don't know what she's thinking. Maybe it's like, she's in like quote unquote jail for a little bit, that she's just going to be losing for like a few months. And then it's like, okay, you learned your lesson. Now we can start pushing you. That's kind of at least what I'm hoping at this point, but it's not looking good. They have to do something with her. And I just don't think they will.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they will. And it's a shame. They should just use her for the talented, person that she is. But yeah, it's. I wonder how long her contract is. She better start using her social media again.
Oh,
start
man.
Twitching. Good on your OnlyFans. Just go on Cameo.
What's crazy?
Get yourself fired again.
Yeah, I know. Oh my goodness. But what's crazy is that all they have to do is just what they've been doing, what they used to do with her. And that's just make her a valet. Like you put her in the ring sometimes, but I feel that she's stronger as a manager than she is as an in-ring talent. I don't know if you feel the same way, but
I loved her in the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, she was carrying Raw when Heyman was in charge.
Yeah.
And she was entertaining, even announcing. They had her announcing for a while.
That's very true. I totally forgot about that. She was great.
Yeah, she was great. And then, I guess when Heyman got taken off being a lead of Raw, that's when she they stopped using her for everything. But yeah, it's a shame. And if they want to use her as a full-time wrestler, she's great in the ring. Just use her to her abilities. Don't be burying her now. It's a shame. And we haven't even seen her doing the high-flying stuff that she normally does.
Oh yeah, I don't know what it's just when it comes down to it, you could have her as a valet and that's her strong. That's her on the mic is her strong suit. So if you could have her as a mouthpiece or someone to elevate another talent, and then you have her in the ring, kind of like a special attraction match, like, oh, Zelina Vega is going to be in the ring. You build her up enough on the mic where it's like you see Zelina Vega wrestle. Now it's interesting. What they're doing now, they're burying her. They're putting her in these matches to just lose it. I hope that there's something in plan for her, but unless Paul Heyman's running SmackDown, I mean, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No, and that's a shame. All right, so what do we got next? Oh, okay. So I have a little note here. I guess they announced after those 2 matches at the festival, the WWE is going to be having a pay-per-view in Atlanta on New Year's Day.
Oh, I saw that.
It's going to be their first ever New Year's Day pay-per-view. So it should be
And
interesting.
also, another very, very interesting point. It's on a Saturday.
Oh, so like SummerSlam.
Yeah, they might be going in the direction.
I like the Saturday pay-per-views because it kind of makes it feel a little different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Compared to the normal Sunday night. It's good to change things up every once in a while. The WWE has been stuck in their own formula for 25 years now. A formula that they needed to do during the Attitude Era to compete with WCW.
Right.
I think they're going to be forced to change that formula really soon when Dynamite starts passing Raw in the ratings in a couple months, if that long.
Weeks, honestly.
Yeah, it could be weeks. And if Daniel Bryan and CM Punk do show up there,
oh man,
who knows?
It'll be over.
The number, yeah. That's when you see Vince, the pressure will cave and Vince will have to do something.
I will say about the New Year's pay-per-view, if they don't call it New Year's Revolution, I don't know what they're doing. This is the perfect time to bring that pay-per-view back.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, okay, so then we go, okay, now this I couldn't wait to talk about. The Roman promo.
Oh.
I think that was the best promo of his career.
It's definitely up there. I would have to think, but I still think his best promo is when he came out after WrestleMania 33 and just said, "This is my yard now," and left. But that's this promo was amazing. Oh, it was so good. This is a prime example of, yes, you went off script for this one.
Yeah, I mean, he was feeling it. I feel like, even like this character's been good, but tonight was the best it was.
Yeah.
Like he kind of like had that cockiness. He was a little more he was laughing. It just worked tonight, man. That was money. That was money. Like they got to keep this Roman doing exactly that. I don't think he's ever had a better promo. I hope he just builds from there. And then they throw us to Swerve, which was friggin' awesome. When Finn Balor's music hits, he hits the ring. And again, it's this new Finn Balor. It's the rejuvenated Finn Balor, who is absolutely awesome. And I love this whole thing. I love the fact that nobody saw this coming. He challenges him, and Roman accepts. What do you think?
Like, it's the perfect way to end off SmackDown. Everything that, the whole Roman promo was just beautiful. The missionary quote was just unreal. I cannot believe that they. Anyways,
well, I'll tell you, they're already incorporating a little more attitudeness to the shows the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's like slowly,
a couple of times.
Yeah.
Cena came out and called Roman Reigns an asshole on Monday. Mm-hmm. Then we have Roman Reigns drop that tonight. So I mean, I love it, and he accepts instantly. So now we know, like, next week, oh boy, this is something we haven't seen in forever on WWE. Now I'm thinking, oh man, I can't wait to see Cena react to this next week.
Right.
Cena's going to have something to say because he said no to him and he accepts Finn Balor. Eventually, I think between now and SummerSlam, and this is the great thing, now I'm thinking, okay, is Cena actually going to fight Roman at SummerSlam, or do they have other plans? And you can have Finn Balor fight Roman at SummerSlam. So you still have a Universal match, and then you have Cena involved in another match.
I think the best thing about this ending tonight is that they didn't specify anything. All we know is that Roman and Finn are going to fight. We don't know when. We don't know if it's going to be for the title. Obviously, it'll probably be for the title, but we don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe they'll just like throw it on a SmackDown. Honestly, I would say tomorrow, confirm it for SummerSlam. On that Talking Smack show, confirm it. Roman versus Finn. And you could even have like kind of the same. I don't know if you watch Talking Smack, but when Edge came out to challenge Roman when he came back before Money in the Bank, Seth was on Talking Smack, and this was like when Seth kind of challenged Roman, said like, I'm next up, whatever. And then Seth was on Talking Smack talking about how he wants to face Roman, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, well, breaking news, we just found out Edge is going to face Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank, and Seth Rollins was just beside himself because he was like, I literally just said that I'm going to be the next in line. So if they could go in this direction, kind of like, Roman and Finn is confirmed, but now you have Cena like, wait a second. I thought this was, I thought we were going to do Roman versus Cena here. You could even do, I don't know if they will. I don't know if they would ever do this, but Cena versus Finn, winner faces Roman at SummerSlam. Just to see that match alone would be so great. I still think we will end up getting Cena versus Roman at SummerSlam, just as my prediction, but this just throws a curveball. And the only reason why it throws such a curveball is because, like what we've been saying, how Finn has just evolved so much ever since the time in NXT. He's just completely rejuvenated his career, and it makes him a threat for Roman. What was the crowd chanting tonight? Roman scared or something?
I was trying to make that out. I couldn't understand exactly what was that Roman scared? Is anybody watching?
I believe so. Like, do you think that they would chant that in a million years if we saw, like, Finn when he was just lost in the mid card on Raw, not too long ago? Do you really think they would cheer that for him? Of course not. This time in NXT really helped him out to the point where it's like, I need to see Finn versus Roman eventually, even if it doesn't happen at SummerSlam. We could do it after SummerSlam for the title or before. I would rather see it after, but put it on a pay-per-view. That could get some numbers. That could get some interest.
Yeah, and what about the fact I love that Roman called out Cena? Oh, if I wanted to see this, I'd go search John Cena 2005.
Oh, that was great. There was like a minute of that promo that it was just completely like insane.
The whole
my
promo
goodness,
was insane. It was great. It was amazing. I want to see more of this. Like you said, Monday's show. Like, it's amazing. It's the same creative doing both shows. When you talk about people getting garbage bags, that's what perfectly describes Raw right now. Yeah. But SmackDown is an entertaining show, man. It's amazing the difference in the two, because this was interesting. Is it, it's so much better than Raw. Is it quite on a Dynamite level yet? No, but it's still a damn good show.
Yeah.
Again, like, if you people who want to watch SmackDown and you don't want to watch everything, fast forward through the whole fest. The rest of it, fast forward through the Baron Corbin stuff. Watch the rest. It might take you about an hour. It was worth it. It was a good show. It was very good. I look forward to next week now. SmackDown's building something good.
Absolutely.
Raw is just, Raw got about a 400,000 viewer boost this week. I guess because the fans were back and Cena was on. I'm expecting a big crash come this Monday. After
honestly, I'm either expecting a big crash or a big rise. I don't think it's going to be like a consistent number, just because of how interesting that Raw was, for better or for worse. It's either going to be, okay, Cena, Goldberg, Nikki Cross, boom, or Goldberg, boom, boom, boom. So I think there's no in between on that. But that's for the Raw review, SmackDown, like you said, they're just hitting on every cylinder. They're taking risks. They're doing things that Raw isn't doing. It just feels like its own show. And I think that's what makes it so great, is that it doesn't feel like Raw. It doesn't feel like we're getting the same show like Raw, just with one less hour. It feels completely different. Even the Rolling Loud stuff, it wasn't great. They didn't execute it well, but this was the most interesting concept they've pulled off since bringing in the Thunderdome. They've really just did something different here, and they've been doing different things every week on SmackDown to make it feel fresh, feel different from watching Raw. I think that's the biggest takeaway of SmackDown. It feels different ever since Roman's come back. It's been a great show. There's no way else to say it.
Oh, here was you. Roman scared. Oh, they were yelling Roman scared.
There you go.
I was trying to make it out. It's pretty good. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost going to guarantee you the ratings are going to drop on Raw this week, because a lot of the diehards who were turned off by the Thunderdome at the end when we're turning out wanted to come back and see how it was with the live crowd. Those people.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
but that was the first Raw. I would like to see SmackDown's ratings start to rise, because it deserves it. The other thing, definitely. Fast forward through that whole, right after Big E does his promo, just fast forward through the rest.
Yes. If anything, that was probably the worst part of SmackDown for what they did in Cleveland. But outside of the, that was just nothing.
So to wrap it up, how many stars are you going to give it tonight?
You know, I would give it a high rating if the Rolling Loud stuff wasn't as long as it was. I think that
I'd
was
also
also another part of the Rolling Loud stuff that I hated. Those matches were long. There was no reason why they should have been that long. Give me like 5 minutes at most. But I feel like you needed more spectacle than you did in-ring work. So I think that took away from it a lot too. But with that being said, I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3 or a 3.5, just because the Rolling Loud stuff really just sucked the air out of the building for like a good 20 minutes to a half hour. But everything else outside of the IC title stuff, great. So I'll say 3.5.
Yeah, I'm right with you between 3 and 3.5 because, like I said, it was a solid show. I think back though, who knows what would have filled it in at that time? Because last week we had a bunch of, like a half-hour period if that was total crap too.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to see them just put a solid 2-hour show together, and that's what I'm loving about AEW right now is their 2 hours are can't miss from
Absolutely.
beginning to end, like everything. And the other thing they do that WWE doesn't do anymore is there's people like the Young Bucks who aren't on this week.
Yeah,
Like
I've noticed that they're like rotating, who they
don't
have
have to
in.
have people on every single week, and when they're not on, you appreciate them more when they are on.
Right.
So start rotating it. You have big enough rosters. You have super talented rosters. You don't have to force everything down the throats at the same time. We didn't see Liv Morgan and we saw Zelina tonight, but no Liv Morgan. Kind of
Yeah,
interesting with the
that's
push
very
she's been
true.
getting. So I mean, if they wanted to have Liv Morgan on tonight, they should have had her cost Zelina the match instead of Zelina just losing cleanly like
You
that.
see that makes 100%. That's why I hate the brand split is because,
Yes, me too.
now that you have a brand split, now you're expecting everyone to be on the show. And when someone is like last week we missed Apollo, this week we missed Liv Morgan. These are
Well, we
big.
didn't miss Apollo. He just wasn't on.
Well, yeah,
Let's
that's very
clarify.
true. He just wasn't on. He wasn't on. We missed Liv Morgan this week.
Yes.
Now it shows it's like weird that they're not there. And it's not even like, we're waiting to see them next week. It's kind of like Apollo. We didn't see him last week, so why do we care to see him this week?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not the case with Liv Morgan for next week. I'm looking forward to see Liv Morgan if she's there. But I feel like she should have been on the show this week. I can't think of anyone else that was like a big miss this week, but
I hope it's WWE, so you never know. That little push better not be over for her.
Oh man, it really. If this was just something for Money in the Bank, that is a huge, huge miss.
I was actually complimenting WWE in my own head, thinking this is awesome. You have the women's title match, you have women, Bianca, whatever she's in, and now you've built this grudge between Liv and Zelina. It's something they could have built up to have another match. I hope it continues. I hope they have that. I was looking forward to it because those two could work together and be very, very solid. So I think we covered it all. I'm looking forward to next week's SmackDown.
Absolutely.
Can't say that about Raw,
Yeah.
But, I'm going to watch it. I got to do a recap show. And I've watched it. Like I said, it's a tradition. Me and my wife have done it for 19 years. Every Monday night we watch Raw. So... I kind of feel bad. I can't just stop it as much as I can't stand the show.
I was going to say, what a tradition that is.
Yeah. But thank you guys for joining us. Anthony, plug yourself. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Consider it plugged. My name is Anthony. You can find me at the Titantron Podcast, on Instagram at the Titantron Podcast, as well as on Twitter at @the_Titantron. I am posting every weekday. I don't know how I'm doing it. 10 to 15 minute episodes on YouTube where you can see this beautiful face. Or you can, if you don't want to see this face, you can go ahead and listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Quick, get you your information, get you the hell out of here episodes. You can also buy some merch, which I'm wearing right now at the Titantron Podcast creator-spring.com. If you're a wrestling podcaster, you can contribute to my WPC 50 project where you can submit me your top 10 wrestlers of all time, and they will be in this big list that I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. What else? You also download the Bench Sports app to listen to the Titantron live on Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's basically all I have. And you can see me every Friday with my man, OG Fig Kid Tom himself, to talk Smackdown. And that's all I got from me.
Yeah, that's right here, guys. And I listened to his podcast this week. It's a very easy listen. Check it out. It's very enjoyable. Like I said, it's just 10 to 15 minutes and it's good. So he's good at what he does.
All right, back at you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Guys, make sure you have the notification button hit here. You subscribe to the channel so you know when we go live. We're here Mondays with the Raw recap. We're here Fridays, SmackDown. We also have Fig Friday that debut tonight. We recapped all of the Comic-Con reveals today. You can find that on our YouTube channel. It's there, an hour and a half. We had some contests and giveaways going on. Check it out. You can win a couple figures if you watch it. That'll be happening every Friday. You know, check out the Turnbuckle Tavern. We have the 4 podcasts now. 4. We have sessions on Monday. We have the debate on Monday, sessions on Wednesday, the flagship show on Thursday, and we have the interview show that used to be part of the flagship show. The solo interview just dropping on Friday now. It's a great listen. Check it out. Check out the Pod Foundation on Twitter and Instagram. Listen to all their podcasts. Thank you guys for joining us. I will see you again tomorrow at noon. We're going to do the John Cena retrospect, checking out his career.
Nice.
At noon, and then I'll be back Monday night for the Raw recap, and you never know if Anthony's going to crash us again. He's always welcome to. So, that's it for us, guys. We will see you soon. Peace, love, and wrestling.